let's write in this together quickly. Who are we focused on? What text?
Extra from under the personal entry.
Yep. So, if you don't have this, you should write it now. What are we writing about? Which two people? Yes.
Veronica and Ola.
That was body one.
Also,
If we look here at body two, who was that? Beautiful. Nur. And Najma. Beautiful. Now, what are we being asked to write about? Z.
We're supposed to describe the relationship between her and Najma.
Yes, the challenging relationship. Beautiful. For time, I'm just gonna write challenging relationship. Now, you guys were able to break down this prompt, and once you actually know what's expected of you, it's really not as challenging as it looks, right? So, keep in mind, next week we're going to be writing an essay of our own in preparation, right? So, right now, in front of you, you have a prompt that we're going to be writing about. Okay, so what you have to do is break it down together. So you want to highlight or underline or circle what the text is about, what text is it, what are they asking you about, and then after, you want to make sure that you're answering the questions. What text are you focusing on? What are you writing about, and what is being asked of you? And you also write down where the body paragraphs are, the intro and the conclusion. So I would start with that. Everyone should write intro and conclusion, what the body paragraphs are going to be, and then answering the bullet points. Okay? Does anybody have any questions on what exactly they have to do? Okay, so you're going to read through the prompt together. Write intro and conclusion, break down the body paragraphs, and then you're going to answer those boxes where the body paragraphs are going to be displayed, what's being asked of you. Then, if you finish, there's a fast finisher, and you're going to answer the question on the next slide if you have some extra time. So we're going to give you guys about 8 minutes, and we'll circle back, okay? So you're doing both of those things with your group. Okay, so first things first. Do we want to read it out loud? Because I'm going to read it.
the authors of the Holding on the Knife and Excitement Food both describe the deadlines of the Spanish food. What similarities are found in each author's discussions of the Spanish food? How's the topic developed differently in each text?
Okay, beautiful. So first, what two texts are we talking about? We want to underline that. The Holding on Night. Does anybody see another one? Harry, you see another text? Okay, good. So those are definitely the two texts. Even if we didn't read it, we know what it's going to be about. Make sure that we're working, guys. Okay, good. Then, they both describe the deadliness of what?
Of the Spanish food.
Excellent. What is the next sentence say? Or when they say, and when we read, we will. But if they say what similarities, what are they actually asking us to figure out? The what? How they're the similarities. We're talking about
They're similar?
Yeah. What is another word for similar though? Like how they're connected, how they're the same, right? Excellent. If it's a contrast, it's how they're different. Okay, keep that in mind. So there's definitely something going on between these two texts that have a similarity about the Spanish flu, right? They found in each author's discussion how is the topic developed differently in each text. So they're asking us to see how it's the same, but they're also asking us to see what?
How it's shown differently.
How it's shown differently. So that's interesting. It's asking us to do both. Okay, so let's make sure that we're circling that too. Now, if we want to actually see the layout if we're looking at the bullets, what was the first thing I said you probably want to do? Good. You want to write in that blank space the introduction. Are we working?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm gonna come check in 2 minutes. So, underneath, what is something that we wanna write to remind us? It's like the other bread of the sandwich. What? Good. Let's write that underneath. Good. What do you think would probably be, Harry? Body paragraph 1. Good. The similarities found in each author's discussion. So what should you write next to it to remind you that it's body 1? Yeah, B1. That's perfect. So next to the bullet point, stay over there. You want to make sure that you write B1. Okay, Chris, I see that you did it. What did you put for body paragraph 2?
B2.
What was the bullet point though?
Describe how the topic is developed to be
Good. So now the second body paragraph is going to focus on how they're not the same, right? So B2. Use details from both texts to support your response. What should we do with that part?
Exit out.
Good. Good job. Actually, exit out. It's just a reminder so that we know to put 2 pieces of evidence, right? Excellent job. So now that you guys did that, you're going to break down each body paragraph and see how you would do each body paragraph. Okay. Good job. Okay. Are we working together, guys?
Sure.
Okay, good. So if we're looking at the text, first I want to make sure, did you find out? We have about 3 minutes. Thumbs up if you already at least broke down the prompt of what's expected of you in the paragraphs. Okay, good. So by now, you want to make sure that you're up to body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2 of what you're writing in the actual boxes, just to make sure that you understand like what you're going to be writing about. So that's where you dive in a little deeper in the body paragraphs, okay? So keep in mind, guys, that while you're writing this, you want to make sure that you're detailed in those 2 body paragraph boxes, because this is what you're going to be writing your essay about. So you want to make sure that you're really breaking down what's expected of you so that when we write it next week, it's not as overwhelming and you know exactly what you're planned out to have, okay? We're going to go in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, so, which text are we writing?
Holding on
And deadly foods, you know, something. Okay, excellent. You broke down the word. That's great. So if something is deadly, it was a flu that killed people. Okay, the Spanish flu, right? So. Yeah, different things. Yeah, we'll talk more about it next week.
Isn't there something that flies? Oh, the yellow fever.
Yeah, yes. We're going to talk about that. But if we're looking at this, what text are we focusing on? For body paragraph 1, we look at bullet 1. Oh, good job, Tina. Holding on night and
A deadly flu.
why are we talking about both texts in body paragraph 1? We are. Because we're talking about the similarities. So that body paragraph, great job, is comparing the 2 of them. So if we're looking at body paragraph 2, what text are we probably talking about body paragraph 2? And how they're different. Yep. So remember to use those body paragraphs and those bullet points as a reminder to how you're writing your body paragraphs out. So, good job. What is it being good? So now, what text am I focusing on? Same thing. You're focusing on the holding on night and the deadly flu. The Spanish flu in both of them. But now for body paragraph 2, what are you writing about? How they're what? How they're different. Great job. Yes. So, if you think about this, we usually do 2 pieces of text evidence in a body paragraph, but we're talking about 2 texts. How many pieces of evidence do you think we're going to write per text in the body?
4.
No, you're great job.
One piece of evidence.
One piece of evidence per text in each
Oh, I thought
body
it would have
paragraph.
to be
So
two from each text. Since you're doing both.
one about one text in body one, and then that text we'll talk about again in body two, but it'll be about the similarities, all about the similarities, and all the differences. One piece of evidence per each one. Does that make sense? Okay, good job. All right, friends, we have about 20 seconds. So let's go over it. Okay, so just so remind us, since everybody read it already, what two texts are we talking about? We want to start with that. Okay, John?
The holding on a knife,
And?
the deadly flow.
Excellent. What are the two things they're asking us to do? They want us to do this, but they also want us to do that about the Spanish flu.
Talk about the similarities and differences.
Beautiful. Talk about the similarities and the differences, right? So if we're looking at body paragraph 1, this is a little challenging, John. Which text are we talking about in body paragraph 1? It's a hard question. It's kind of trying to trick you. Donna? Holding on night, but we're also, if we look at bullet 1, identify the similarities found in each author's discussion of the Spanish flu. Victoria, you want to give her a hand? What do you think? It's both texts. So, this is different, but you're using that bullet point. The bullet point kind of told you the answer. You're finding the similarities between each text in body 1. What do you think you're doing in body 2? Doing the what? Are you talking about 1?
They wrote, still talking about both texts, but you're saying how they develop differently?
How they develop differently. Beautiful. So, if we're looking, what text are we focusing on? We're focusing on both texts in each body paragraph. Who or what we're writing about? We're writing about the Spanish flu in each body paragraph. But what is being asked of us to write about? In 1, like Adam said, we're talking about the similarities. And in body 2, we're talking about the differences. Excellent job. Did anybody get to the fast finisher? Maureen. Okay, so what do you know about the Spanish flu? And what does it remind you of? Do you know anything about it?
It was brought against Europe and it got its name by Spain being the first country of having reliable reports.
Excellent job. Wow, great job. Okay, so we want to wrap up. Thumbs up if you feel like you got it. In the middle if you feel like you need more help, or thumbs down if you are still really confused. Do you feel like you can locate and unpack an essay prompts? Okay, beautiful. Thumbs down. Do you feel like you can cite specific details and supporting evidence from the text? You might still be like this because we didn't really get to fully get to that yet, which we will next week. Okay, some feel like we do, some in the middle. What about you feeling about being able to formulate and draft a response for an extended response on both texts? This, up, down. Okay, beautiful. Great job, guys. So, we'll circle back, and next week we're going to continue writing our extended response. Great job.